microbit tutorial. In this video, we're going to be covering how to wire and program the servo motor. First, we'll start with the make code. So what you're going to want to do is open up a new make code project. And like we have in most projects, we're going to want to have a forever loop and an on start loop. Great. So the way the servo motor works is we hook it up to a pin and we send electricity from that pin to control it. So where all the servo motor commands are stored is right here under pins. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this pin that says servo write pin P0. I'm going to put it in start. Great. So what this command means, servo write pin P0. That means the servo's signal pin is connected to pin 0. So if you look at this little diagram here, here's our servo. It's getting 3 volts of electricity through the red wire. It's connected to the negative end of the battery or to ground through this blue wire. And then it's getting its signal through this purple wire. And you can see it's getting its signal from pin 0 right now. You'll be using the expansion board, but it'll be connected to pin 0 nonetheless. And let's start off by writing it to 100 degrees. You can either drag this or you can type here. So when we start this program, the servo will rotate to 100 degrees. Let's make it wait or pause for 1 second. Great. So the servo can rotate between 0 and 180 degrees. So in the forever loop, let's make it oscillate back and forth between some different rotations. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another one of these servo write commands. So servo write pin P0. Let's make it drop down to 20 degrees. We will pause for 1 second. And then let's go ahead and move the servo again. Let's move it to like 160. Notice I don't really like to go to 0 or 180. Those are the outer reaches of the pin. And I need to have a pause command. You see it's twitching down here. That's because we're not giving it any time to rotate to the angle we told it. So I'll go ahead and add a pause command. Perfect. And this is what your servo should do. It'll start at 100 degrees and then you'll see it rotate back and forth. You can go ahead and download this code, upload it to your microbit, and then in the next section of this video, I'll show you how to wire the servo to your microbit in order to get this to work. Welcome to the second part of the microbit servo tutorial. Here we're going to be talking about how to wire our servo motor to the expansion board so you can run the code that you just wrote in make code. The components you need for this tutorial are your microbit, of course, the microbit expansion board, your USB cable, a servo motor, and 3 male to female wires. I would recommend you use an orange, a red, and a brown wire. And the reason for that is our servo motor requires 3 connections: brown, red, and orange, and I like to keep my wire colors consistent. You'll also notice that your servo motor comes with various attachments. So you can pop these on and off. This is what it'll look like out of the bag. I like this one. You just pop it on, and now you can attach different things to this to rotate. Great, so let's go ahead and start wiring our project. The first thing we're going to do is insert the microbit into the expansion board. like so. I'll move my cable out of the way for now. And now we have to wire the servo. And the servo requires 3 connections. The first connection is this brown cable. This is going to go to ground, or the negative side of the battery, or the black pins, however you like to think of it. So what I'm going to do is take my brown, move that out of the way, take my brown male to female wire. I'll connect the male end like so. And then I'll connect the female end to the black pins on my expansion board. Now the next connection I'm going to make is this red wire. You can see this red wire is connected to the middle of this guy. So I'll take my red male to female wire, put it in that middle hole, and the red wire goes to 3 volts, or the positive side of the battery. So we'll go ahead and connect this. Perfect. So right now our servo is going to get electricity when I plug it in. But we have to tell it what angle to rotate to. And how we do that is with this third wire here, this orange wire. That's the signal wire. So I'll take my orange male to female wire. I'll plug it in like so. And then I'm going to connect this end to pin P0. It's one of these yellow pins. It'll say P0/analog in. Like so. And the reason we chose pin 0 is because that's what we programmed in our make code. We said servo write P0. We could change whatever pin, so we could wire the servo to pin 12 if we wanted, but we would have to change that in our make code. So to recap, our servo motor, the brown wire is connected to the black pins, the red wire is connected to the red pins, and the orange wire is connected to pin P0. Now at this point, if you have not done so already, you should upload your make code. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. And I'll plug this other end into my computer. And you can upload your make code. Now, what you might notice, your motor might start to spin, which is great. But oftentimes when we're using a servo motor, there's not enough electricity from the microbit to make this happen. So if your motor isn't spinning, here's what you can do. Unplug your USB cable from your microbit. And then you're going to plug this cable directly in to the expansion board. This will actually provide more electricity to the expansion board and will allow the servo to rotate more freely. So notice I'm plugging this in to the expansion board. And my motor is moving much more crisply. It has more strength. You'll be able to tell when you make this switch as well. The only downside with this connection here is I can't upload code to the microbit when I'm connected like this. So typically what I'll do, if I'm using a servo motor, I'll write my code on the computer, I will upload it to the microbit through this port, and then when I'm ready to run the code, I'll just switch my USB cable over to here. So these are very powerful. You can make a robot, you can make things move, you can make a sunshade. This is how you get it wired. You have whatever ability to control and program this you want in make code. You can make it respond to sensors, you can make it move when you hit a button. This is really your first step in your robotics journey using your microbit. Hopefully this video was informational and helpful, and best of luck as you continue working with the servo motor.